Hello, good morning and welcome back. First job on the anvil this morning is to try and get the outdoor tomatoes sorted. But first of all, I've got my trusty notepad. Let's go and do a stock check. There they are, nestled away in the allotment greenhouse. Unusual for me, these are still in the 7cm pots from the first potting on stage. I usually got them in a bit bigger now, but not to worry. Some of these are starting to go a bit leggy, so the sooner I can get them out the better. But as I said, first of all, let's see what stock we've got. Here's the tomatoes outdoors now, put in groups. As usual, I've grown far too many than I actually need, but that's a nice problem. With these being outdoor, I tend to grow blight-resistant varieties, predominantly the Crimson family, Crimson Crush, Crimson Blush and Crimson Plum. These plants are actually a lot more leggy than I'd like them to be, but that's purely my problem. Down to neglect, I didn't pot them on when I should have done. But they'll soon pick up, I'll plant them a little bit deeper. Personal opinion, I think that tomatoes in general, those that grown outside, have got a better flavour than those grown in pots, in greenhouses and tunnels. I've done trials a couple of years ago where I grew both varieties, indoor and outdoor, and the outside one, the flavour was much better. But so that's personal opinion. Right, I'm going to get these strung out now, probably put 12 in this bed. I'll bring you back when I'm done. So that's the 12 plants in. I've staked each one with a cane and put a bit of string around it just to loosely tie them in. And I've also put the little plastic bottle eye protectors on the top as well. Very important that, you easily bend down and poke your eye out, so do be careful. 4 on the outside, the Crimson Crush. 4 in the middle, the Crimson Blush. And another 4 down this side, Crimson Crush. As you can get, that Crimson Crush is my favourite. Right, that's the tomatoes put to bed. If you're a regular viewer to the channel, you know that between the outdoor tomatoes I usually sow a couple of rows of beetroot. And these are bolt-on. There's probably about 20 plants in, so I'm just going to space them out down the 2 valleys between the tomatoes. That's the beetroot put to bed. Now normally I do 2 sowings of beetroot, but I think really I've got enough here, so that bed's completely finished now. Onions done as well. We are moving on. The last 3 or 4 days I've spent solid on the allotment, so as a little break I'm moving here into the back garden, and the plan is to get the hanging and wall baskets underway. This stuff here is part of my chilli wicking system. Behind there I've got a piece of polycarb and a couple of trestles. What I'm going to do is build a temporary table, set up a potting bench, and that'll make it so much easier. For anyone short of room, this is something I'd highly recommend. So the folding trestles, I think I got them from Screwfix, and the polycarb sheet. So within a minute you can build a really good workable surface, and it stores down to nothing. As you'll probably gather, I'm on my way down to the allotment greenhouse where all the plants are stored for the baskets. And once these are out, that'll give me a really empty space then to start the next job of this, which will be to get the auto pot set up. Being a bit late doing the baskets means that the plants ready to go in are quite mature, so that should make them easier and also set the baskets off more or less straight away. So here are the ingredients we've got to work with. Previously, when doing hanging baskets, going back many years ago, I used to just grow one variety. Primarily it was Busy Lizzie, and they used to put on a fantastic display. And then I started swapping, mixing them up, and I think in the last 4 or 5 years I started doing the pendulum begonias. Having a change again this year with another mix up, just to see what we've got. We've got some petunias there, some begonia corms there, some small begonias there, a couple of trays of Busy Lizzies or Impatiens, Patiens, whatever you call them, and there is some fuchsias. Bringing up the rear, we've got the geraniums. So that's the mix. There's plenty there, so I'll be able to cram them in. Let's get going. I'm just mixing the compost now for the basket mix, and I've used a bag of Clover multi-purpose peat based, and then I've added perlite, which I find puts a bit of air into the soil, because this will be in here a good 4 to 5 months. The plants will. On top of that, I've added a little bit of bloodfish and barn, and also some ground wool, which is a slow release balanced fertiliser. Right, mix this and we can start planting. I like to empty the compost out each year of the basket. Some people actually refresh it, but it's in here a long while, so for what it is, give it some new stuff. I don't waste this though, I'll save it and scatter it on the beds so it doesn't go to waste. These half baskets, or wall baskets, mangers, whatever you want to call them, can be a bit of a pain to put in position while you're planting. And I can use blocks of wood at the front here, and I've used that, and they do sometimes split. But the good way I found of doing it, and it does quite efficient, is to put the baskets back to back and just pop a little cable tie, zip tie, whatever you want to call them, through the holders. Keep them together, and as you pull them tight, they support each other. Like that. Just pop another one in the other side, and say this will make it a lot easier come planting. You might want to put something at the front just to stop the rocking, but that's the 2 manger baskets done. Looks a bit draggled at the moment, but once I've watered them in, it'll settle compost down, and these will go on the wall, and into them I'll put 2 spikes, sprinklers. These are, the garden's on an automatic watering system, so watering takes care of itself. The only thing I really need to do is add food now and again. So we've got a mixture of petunias, busy lizzies, begonias, geraniums, and that's about it. So I'll get them on the wall, give them a watered in, and then we can start on the round baskets. Right, we're on to planting up the hanging baskets now. These are 14-inch baskets, 35 centimetres roughly, and I pop these onto this. This is just soil waste pipe, 6-inch pipe, 15 centimetre, and chop them off like that. The baskets sit on there just perfectly. So I'm going to start emptying these out exactly like the wall baskets, chock them full of plants, and I'm going to bring you back later. Ended up having to mix another batch of compost here, but that's done now. What I forgot to mention last time is that if, like me, when you do your mix, you do add perlite, don't bother going to the garden centre to buy it, because you get a little bag like that for about £5 or £6. What I did, this one here, it's 100 litres, and I bought it from my local hydroponic shop. You know the one I mean, the ones which do growing with grow lights and stuff like that. But £20 for that, and it goes an awful long way, so well worth having a look into that one. Regular viewers to the channel will know that on the allotment I tend to favour in planting what they call regimental style in groups and things, and the baskets is really no exception. I put them in a group like this of 4 and plant each one for planting each time, and I go round, and then I tend to like balance the planting on the basket so none ends up more full than the others. And the other thing is you can synchronise the colours and all, so you don't get no clashing or nothing like that. That's my theory anyway. There we are, all 4 baskets done. I've really crammed a lot of plants into the baskets, but give them a good watering in now, settle the compost, and hopefully they'll start bursting into life in the next few days.